In conclusion, I hope that this class series has really inspired you to start working with nourishing herbs in the Nourishing Herbal Infusion, and to really incorporate them as a daily ritual of self-care and a way that you can really work with herbs on a daily basis and wild plants at the same time, and really work with them to build health instead of to fight disease. We want to nourish and support health and not necessarily focus on a diagnosis and try to eliminate it. Working to nourish our whole bodies and our whole self, and in so doing, the sky's the limit. We'll see what amazing possibilities can breed from that. So I have a quick kind of top 10 takeaways here that I hope that you've gained from this class series. And one is nourishment is never found in a pill. So if you are currently taking supplements or multivitamins and minerals, I really strongly would suggest that you throw them out, because it's not true nutrition. And it's not complex nutrition, which is what our body really strives and needs, and to really lean on the nourishing herbs instead. And really trust that we are getting a full range of complex minerals and vitamins and protein and a lot of other phytonutrients that a pill could never offer us. Number 2, herbs are not drugs. So they work very differently. And as soon as we start thinking about these, especially these nourishing food-like herbs as drugs, we kind of miss the whole point. So drugs have a very specific direction of action. They're very concentrated, often a poison that has a medicinal action that if taken in too large of amount could cause really serious side effects. Whereas these nourishing herbs, they have a broad-reaching action on the body, and they have non-specific action, a lot of them, and you can ingest as much of them as you want, and very rarely will you have a negative side effect. Along those lines, number 3 is herbs are amphoteric in action, or very modulating tend to be in action. So they can work one way or the other way, and basically helping us to come to more homeostasis. Our body can take what the herbs offer us, the complexity of the herbs, and we can take and use whatever we need from them, and the rest we can eliminate. And we talked about that in the red clover class, where they have these variety of coumarins in them. Some can be anticoagulant and some are procoagulant of the blood, and therefore that just has like a modulating action. So they can, plants offer variety and tend to be more amorphous in their action. And it can take a bit to paradigm shift into that and to trust it. I totally get that, and it is a huge paradigm shift in working with the nourishing herbs for health and healing. Number 4, the nourishing herbal infusions work really well if we are working on prevention and building health to prevent a variety of health conditions that we don't want, undesirable health conditions. And then also they can be really beneficial if we have chronic health complaints that we are trying to bring our body back toward, or forward, I should say, toward a more homeostasis or a better health state, one that is more comfortable for us. And especially when dealing with chronic inflammation. Pretty much all of the nourishing herbs have inflammation modulating or anti-inflammatory properties to them. So not only that, but they can also work as adjunct therapy. So if you do have a chronic health condition and you are dependent on drugs and or cancer therapies, these nourishing herbal infusions are so food-like that they are often very safe to work with. So for example, if you can eat kale with your drugs, then you can drink comfrey nourishing herbal infusion, comfrey leaf. If you can eat spinach with your drugs, then you can drink nettle nourishing herbal infusion. If you can drink chamomile tea with your drugs, then you can drink linden nourishing herbal infusion. If you can eat oatmeal with your drugs, then you can drink oatmeal nourishing herbal infusion. And if you can eat beans and legumes with your drugs, then you can drink red clover nourishing herbal infusion. They are all very similar or have constituents that are less problematic than all the plant foods that I just compared them to. So again, these are foods. These are not drugs. These are not strong herbal medicines, but you don't need strength to have really drastic health effects. Number 5, new habits take time to build. So if we are really aiming to drink 1 quart of nourishing herbal infusion a day for the rest of our lives in an ideal world, it's probably not going to happen overnight. So just give yourself time, let this become a habit that you stick with over time. Makes a great New Year's resolution or any time of year resolution. Really map out a plan. These are the 5 herbs that I want to work with. Buy a pound of each of those herbs. Get all, make sure you have a scale, make sure you have at least 2 canning jars, and put them out on your counter. Put them in front of you so you see them. Don't tuck them away in the pantry or a cabinet where you don't see them. Really, to make it a habit and tie it in with something that you already do on a daily basis, whether it's brushing your teeth, making a cup of coffee, cleaning up after dinner, something that you're already doing on a daily basis, and then just tie the process of making the infusion with that. If you already carry a water bottle with you throughout the day, don't drink water, drink nourishing herbal infusion, because it has so much more to offer you than just water. Let's see, number 6. It's really important that with plant food that we break down the cellular structure if we're going to get any nutrition from them. So there's 5 main ways that we can do this. Raw plant food is actually really hard on the digestive tract, and we really can't extract the nutrition from it. Our digestive system isn't designed to do that, and actually most animals' digestive systems are not really designed to do that. We would have to eat all day long and not stop if we were going to get the nutrition that we really needed if we were only to eat raw food. So, and that would probably kill our digestive system. It would be so hard to work through all of that fiber. So if we think about babies, that have these really delicate digestive systems, what do? We feed them, once they're ready to eat food, solid plant food, we feed them really, really well cooked, right? Enough so that it can be mushed into a puree. Now, you don't have to eat all of your plant food in puree, but if your plant food is fermented, if your plant food is frozen first before you cook it or eat it or put it in a smoothie, if your plant food is dehydrated first, if your plant food is cooked at a temperature for like an hour, then it's at a higher temperature, like roasted or simmered or cooked in a soup or a crock pot. That's going to really help to break it down. And then if you cover your plant food in oil or some sort of fat, or if you eat your salad or your raw food with an avocado or a solid amount of really healthy oil, because you can actually see the oil break down that cellular structure over time. And so all of those ways, and so with the nourishing infusions, we are doubling down. We have both dehydrated our plant material and we have also heated it for a long time to really extract the nutrition from it. Number 7, working with plants as simples, where we are working with one plant at a time, is really important for us to really engage our relationship, build an intimate relationship with the herbs, and really understand how they're working in our body. Number 8, working with weeds, common plants that grow all around us, even if we're still purchasing them for Nourishing Herbal Infusions. If the supply chains were to totally fall apart, which we have seen actually happen, like if there's a worldwide pandemic or who knows what, natural disasters, then we could still go out and harvest our linden blossoms, harvest our nettle, harvest our chickweed. We have not become reliant on someone to make us our nutrition. We can still go out and find it ourselves. Number 9, whole herbs. Working with whole herbs, really then we are working with the inherent wisdom of nature. We are working with the complexity that each plant has to offer us, with the variety of chemistry that our body needs and has coexisted with as food since we have been humans on this planet. And also the natural variation. So humans, we are very varied, right? From person to person, and throughout the day, throughout the year, from month to month, day to day, even hour to hour, our bodies are always doing something a little bit different. And so if we can provide variation within our nutrition, it just seems to work better. Even though our mind says, no, I need control. I need to know exactly what I'm taking in and exactly how it's going to work. And I need to know what's in each batch of infusion, what the numbers are, and really just let all of that go and just trust in the inherent wisdom of nature, complexity, and variation. And then number 10, working with the herbs, and I think, and what I've tried to get across in this series of classes as well, is we can either go an inch deep and a mile wide with our herbal studies, or we can go a mile deep and an inch wide. And for me, I find that if we are going a mile deep, where we're really getting to know each herb on a one-to-one basis, we don't need to know 200 herbs. We don't need to work with 200 herbs. We can work with 5 herbs on a regular, weekly basis, and we can really dive deep with those herbs. And through that, we can learn so much about herbalism, health, nutrition, and how our bodies work, and how our bodies relate to the natural world and to the plant world. So I would love it if you would dive into the world of Nourishing Herbal Infusions and then reach out to me, Brighid Doherty, Solidago Herb School. You can find me on, Solidago Herb School at Gmail if you want to email me. Instagram, my website, all with the Solidago Herb School tag. Check out the Healthy Herb podcast, where we really dive deep into a lot of herbs and topics on herbalism. Check out my book, Nourishing Herbal Infusions. I wish it was a book. When I was writing the book, I was like, I want it to be a book all about Nourishing Herbal Infusions. It does include Nourishing Herbal Infusions, but drinkable, healing herbal infusions. And then really just reach out to me. Let me know how it's going. I would love to hear from you. And I want to thank Herb Rally for having me on this frugal nutrition course journey with you all. I am just really honored to be a part, and for you to take your time to check out what I have to offer, what information I would love to share. So, thank you so much. Green blessings.